Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Welcome to Crafty Hour 85. It is Kourtney here with Scrapbook and Memories, and I hope you're having a great night. I hope you got a chance to check out Clipper Street today. They did, oh my gosh, a super cute card with a super cute like little mini folio album that was adorable. And if you didn't catch it, don't forget you can always go back to and catch the lives on replay. Plus, both of us have a YouTube channel, so we've downloaded our videos there, so you can catch them on YouTube. So, hello everybody. It looks like I can see comments. I just have to keep poking my iPad, but it looks like we have comments tonight. Facebook has been doing some weird stuff, guys. So if you ask a question, I don't respond. It's probably because I didn't see it, so I apologize. But Facebook's doing some weird things with the comments and on the computer. So I hope you guys love this kit. This was a gorgeous kit with Uniquely Creative. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a purple girl, but I had a lot of fun with this, and I thought this was stunning with the colors and the designs that were in this kit. It was just kind of fabulous. So what I'm going to kind of start with is what you were supposed to do for your homework, and I'll kind of tell you about it a little bit too. So I know I jumped on a couple minutes early, so I don't want to lose anybody, but I jumped on early just to make sure I could see comments. Like I said, Facebook's been doing some weird stuff lately. So one thing we're going to do is we're going to do both of these cards in the Crafty Hour. Okay, fun layering. And then the other item is just a bonus item I made and created and kind of wanted to show you guys. I kind of talked about it in my last Crafty Hour. I kind of been doing this 52 week mixed media altered art card challenge. That's a tongue twister, ain't it? So this is just something fun that I've been doing over on the Scoop group, over on our Facebook page. And I'm behind, but every week has a fun new challenge to kind of do. And the one I'm on was week number 12. And week number 12's theme was add rough fabric, burlap, or canvas. Introduce discomfort. And this is a print off that's on our Scoop group if you guys want to join and play along. But kind of what I've been doing is after the Crafty Hour, we have so many bits and pieces left over. I thought I'm going to challenge myself to do my ATC card right away with the same kit, same product. And then, yeah, so we're kind of like two birds, one stone. And I posted that on my last Crafty Hour. And a couple of you did the challenge, and I love it. It was fun seeing your ATC cards with the kit. So there's my ATC card, or not my ATC, my 52, I gotta add some glue to that. My 52 card challenge, that is my take on it. And I used burlap. I did learn as you're using burlap, I wanted to die cut this really cool shape. And so I die cut this really cool flourish. It's an old Tim Holtz Biggs die. And what I discovered is it just disintegrated and fell apart. There's like no substance to it. So if you're die cutting burlap or something like that, what I had to do is I stiffened it. So I basically put the burlap on my mat, took my collage medium, my matte medium, painted it with a paintbrush, let it dry, I peeled it up, and then I die cut it. And then it holds its shape. It holds its shape there. That little guy's not wanting to stick to that glue, so I'm going to put a clip on him. That'll hold him. So yeah, so that's how I came up with the burlap, and that was my card challenge for that. So that was just an extra little show and tell to kind of show you guys. Use your scraps from your Crafty Hours for cards and projects and all kinds of other stuff, because some of these kits, you guys end up with a lot of extras. So, so yeah, join in on the fun. Might as well. Okay, so these are the two cards that we're going to be doing, guys. The card bases were in the kit. And I did give you guys some homework. Some of you probably didn't get the homework done. That's okay, because I'm going to do the homework with you. I know there's some of you guys that love to do the homework and get it done in advance and have it ready to go. And there's some of you that are like, oh, I'll do it live, and then you get behind. Well, I'll do it live with you. So we'll do the homework together because it is really super quick and easy. So the first thing we're going to do is your card bases. There are 2 card bases that we're going to use, and these are really nice thick card bases. I went to do my matting, my baby matting, and the math was not mathing for me. It was hard. It was like 15/16 or something. So the math was not mathing. So what I did is I just chopped a little bit off of the bottom of my card to make it more mathematical friendly. I mean, we're still dealing with 8ths, but we're not dealing with 16ths. So the card base is already 4 1/8. I'm going to cut it down. So we are at 4 1/8 this way already. We're going to leave it. We're going to flip your card sideways, and we're going to cut it to 5 3/4. So what we're doing is, and make sure, I got to put my finger thumb, hold it so it doesn't shift. So what we're doing is literally just shaving off this much, but I'm telling you guys, it's going to make the math so much easier. So grab both 2 card bases from your kit, and you're just going to shave a little bit off the bottom to make it 5 3/4. And I didn't do that as homework because I thought that might be a little confusing, and we'll just do it together. But it is really thick cardstock. That's why I kind of had to work my way through it. So that's your first thing we're going to do. We're just going to cut your card base 4 1/8 by 5 3/4. So now the math will be easier. It'll be easier to do those little borders without having to do 5/16. Okay? All right. The next piece of homework was, and I did do this already, you need 2 pieces of gold Miri that are 4 by 5 5/8. Okay, so 2 of those. That was on the homework list. And what it's going to do is it's going to frame in, and you're just going to have a little bit of white all the way around the outside edge. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and glue those down right now while we have those cut and we have our card bases, so something doesn't accidentally get chopped or glued in a wrong spot. I'm just going to go ahead and glue both of those down right now. Okay, so we're just putting your gold Miri. This one I'm using is what I had on hand. It's kind of more of a satin look. Whatever you have is perfect. I just use what I got on hand. So mine's just kind of a satin look. Okay, so we're just going to glue those down. Easy peasy so far. Okay, so we're just gluing those down. Easy peasy. Okay, then while we're gluing, we might as well glue our card fronts down because that's the best part. We're going to go in your card base, and I just loved these 2 papers. These were my favorite, and they just kind of sung to me. I love the circle. I love circles. They're just so fun to design with, and it was fun to kind of do a circle and do something kind of off the edge of it. So this is the first one you're going to grab. You're going to go grab that one that has the circle on it. And then the other one that I really loved was this one. I loved how it had the corner flower kind of coming off the edge of it, because then we could build our cluster around it. So you're going to grab those 2. And I almost, and if you have it, you might want to go ahead and do it. I loved how it had a random book print. I almost took a stamp and did random stamping in here with my book print, but I couldn't find one that hasn't been discontinued in my stash. So I didn't want to use something that we can't get anymore. So I omitted that part. But you can always use what you got and stamp some stamps. So those are the 2 pieces we're going to grab, and then we're going to cut these down. These are going to be 3 7/8 by 5 1/2. They're going to fit right inside of your gold with just a little rim on it. Okay, so we're going to grab the first one. The first one is this one, and I kept this portion. This is what I wanted to keep, was this corner right here. So we're going to flip it upside down. So your brown, we'll call it brown gold, is in the top left-hand corner because we want to keep that part. And we're going to go 4 inches. So we're going to go 4 inches wide, right? Because I did that. Yeah. So we're going to go 4 inches wide, and we're going to slice it. Nope, 3 7/8. Sorry, I read my Muri. 3 7/8. That's okay. We just go a hair smaller. 3 7/8. Read your instructions, Kourtney. It's written right there. And then we're going to flip it. So we're keeping that brown piece. We want to keep that brown. And we're going to do 5 1/2. 5 1/2. So when you slice it, it's going to be right above that circle. So that's what we're going to end up with. Okay. And then our other piece, the corner I wanted to keep on this one is this bottom corner. We want to keep that. So we're going to put that in the bottom left-hand corner. And we're going to cut it at 3 7/8. So just 2 tick marks, 2 little tick marks, smaller than 4. Speaking of tick, I got a little tickle. Then we're going to flip that so we still have the flower on the left-hand side. And we're going to cut it at 5 1/2. 5 1/2. And my paper shifted. I felt it. I'm not doing good with not shifting paper tonight. Okay? And then if you want, you can ink the edge of it. I felt like these look like they just need a little inky. I used Vintage Photo, which is kind of a yellow brown. Gathered Twigs is also a favorite brown that looks really cool. And then 49 Market, of course, has out some new colors and new browns. I just don't own those yet. So I'm using what I have. So I have Vintage Photo is what I'm using. If you have Gathered Twigs, that would be awesome to use too. Both are really good browns. It's a hard toss-up. If I had to pick between the two, I don't know if I could pick a favorite. So we're just going to ink the edge a little bit, just brown it. We're kind of making 2 cards at once right now because we're just repeating the same thing, so why not? Okay, so once you have those browned, we're just going to glue them now to our foils. I am scraping the bottle of my Helmar. We need that new glue to make it to the US. We have it on order, but our distributor says the manufacturer hasn't shipped it yet. So, and it has to come by boat. So that's going to be at least a month, month and a half once it ships on boat. So we're still waiting for it here in the US. They had to redo all the labels to have all the proper Prop 65 or whatever that is on them, all that flammable. They had to redo them for the US. So that's what they're waiting on. That's what the holdup is. It's the labels. Okay, so there's our first one. And then our second one, we're just going to do the same thing. Okay, and then we're going to go to 1 card at a time. And we'll kind of do some more of the little homework stuff. Okay, so once those are glued down, oh, let me wiggle that. That's why I like this glue. It's crooked. I can wiggle it in this place. Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay, so both of those cards, we're just going to set them to the side now, because now we'll do some of the actual other homework. So in your pack, you're going to have this right here. We need to cut out both of these postage stamps. Now, you might have this die. I know they were sold out, and a lot of you guys are on wait list, which will get you guys taken care of. I just got an email from Uniquely Creative today that this is back in stock. So we will get our order in first thing in the morning, and get some more of these coming. If you don't have this guy, just cut it out, or use some deckled scissors or kind of whatever you got. But if you do have the die, we're going to cut out both of these postage stamp series. And you can see I didn't clean off my mat for my last die cutting. So we're just doing a little bit of the homework stuff now. This was on your homework, but if you didn't do it, no biggie. We're going to do it together. And just look at how lovely that is. And I love that it takes those little holes out too. And then you could cut that or rip it and use other postage with it. Love it. Just gonna chop that flower off so I can put my other one in. And now we'll die cut the other one. And Uniquely Creative did say they're going to come out with more paper collections and more things that this die will go with. They also have, I know Clipper Street showed you today, they also have the sentiment dies that cuts out all the little word sentiments and makes them into little banners. They have that die coming back in too. And it's just a full sheet. And they do those in a lot of their collections, make the sentiments that work with that die. I love it when companies have dies that match their die papers. Okay, so there's that. And I think that was it for our die cut. That was it. So then we're going to go over here and we're going to do a little bit of work on these two. Okay, let me see if there are any questions. Okay, no questions so far. So we're going to take our scissors, and this was on your homework too. If you got it done, great. If not, no worries. We're going to cut that butterfly out. Okay, so when I'm fussy, I always say fussy cutting stuff. I always chunk it out first because I find it's easier to then maneuver it. You want a really good pair of scissors, nice sharp scissors. I love the Cutter Bees. I love the EK Success ones. Tim Holtz has some really great ones. Uniquely Creative has some great ones. So there's a lot of great scissors out there on the market. So if you are struggling with fuzzy cutting, get a good pair of scissors. Odds are, most of the time it's not you, it's what you're using. Invest in good tools because it will just make your life so much easier. I am not cutting around her antennas. I am just chopping them off. If you want to cut around them, great, but I am not. And I am also cutting around her so she has no white edge. I am cutting right up to that colored portion. Okay, right up to it. And this one's fairly easy to cut out. I'm usually not a fussy cutter, but I can do quick, easy ones here and there. And the nice thing too, and another reason why I like to ink my stuff that I fuzzy cut, if I'm off, if I do leave a little bit of white, that's why I ink my edges. Ink hides mistakes. It hides all kinds of boo-boos. Kind of like gems and rhinestones too. Those hide fingerprints and ink marks, and those hides too. So that's why we call it an opportunity to embellish. Kind of hides those. So once I got her done, then I'm just going to go in with my ink, and we're just going to add a little bit of that brown to it. Now don't make her dirty. Don't make it look like she's been playing out in the mud pile, but just add a little bit of brown to her. Just to kind of brown her up a little bit. Okay, and then we'll put her in a pile. The next thing we're going to do is our tag. So we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to cut the tag out. Really easy cutting. My challenge was cutting this little hole reinforcer. I cannot cut a circle. If you look at mine is a drunken circle. I went through all of my punches, all of my die cuts. I could not find anything that was that size of a circle so I could die cut it. So I actually went through and did it. But I did discover that a circle is very challenging. It definitely was not circle. Okay. And then we want it to look like a tag. So I went in and I'm going to ink that circle. So it kind of hides the fact that it is a drunken circle. That's the best way I can explain it. We're going to go in and ink our tag a little bit. And then we're going to glue our circle to the top. Oops, my glue is squirting out over here. Okay, so we're just going to glue that to the top. And I put enough glue on there to squirt out. Awesome. Okay, we're going to let that dry for a second. Okay, so then we also are going to cut out our 2 sentiments, happy birthday and best wishes. Again, just a quick, easy, straight cut, and you could totally do this in your trimmer too. If you want to put it on your trimmer and line it up, it'd be a quick, easy one, which I think is what I did on my original. And again, we're just going to ink all these pieces so it kind of hides our boo-boos. But what inking the edges also does is it kind of stops the eye. So it kind of breaks things up and stops the eye. Just notice my pop dot was a little low on that one. Okay. Oh, everybody's out in their yards because the weather's nice and it's going to rain and everybody's barking. Everybody's barking. It'll be okay. Okay, so we're going to ink the edges of those. The happy birthday is going to go with the tag. The best birthday will go in the other pile. I did not ink the white on my postage because I really liked the crispness of it. So I did leave that one white. I didn't ink that up. Let's see if there's anything else. We're going to chop that bird out too. And we're just doing the bird. I'm not doing all the greenery or the other things around her. We're just going to chop her out. I kind of just do a quick joot, 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 joot on her tail. Kind of has those nice fine feathers. And on this one, I just chopped the legs off too because the bird underneath will have some legs on it, so we will see those. I first tried leaving the legs on and then it looked funny. It looked like it was floating in the air because I popped it. Oops, I about cut her beak off. Let me try going from the other side. There we go. Okay, I think that is all of our cutting. We got the butterfly, we got the stamps, we got the tag, the sentiments, and the bird. Okay, so that is all of our pieces there. Oh, there is one more thing I did die cut. I die cut, you kind of see on here, the string. I put on the list black twine, or you can die cut. This die is from a past Maker Mania. I think it was number 12. I really need to start labeling my stuff. But this was a Maker Mania die. If you have it, I did this one right here. And then this one right here. I love the look of this. Amy is helping me out with the random twist and put the twine on. If you're good with that, then put your twisty twine on. If you want to die cut, then by all means die cut. Again, use what you got, guys. If you have jute, if you have twine, if you have anything fibrous, anything will work, guys. Anything will work. So I'm going to do my dies. Just put them on here. I'm just doing scrap black paper. In fact, I think I like the other side better. That side has texture. I think I want the non-textured side, so we're just going to flip that over. Okay, now I think we've got all the homework items done. How are we doing, guys? Are we doing good? Anybody crafting along? Trying to go at a nice slow pace for you. Way everybody can keep up. I'll just put my little twines to the side. I'm going to punch those out. So we got those. I have a trash can, but somehow I managed to miss it with everything I've thrown at it. Good thing I didn't play sports. Okay, so there's that. Are we ready for the rest? Everybody got that? Okay, so we're going to start with our first card base. We're going to start with this one. And we're going to find your little ephemera pack. Are these ephemera not adorable? There was so many cool, stunning pieces in this pack. So we're just going to dump that out. And this guy we're going to use, I'm just going to go ahead and grab him and ink him because I have him in my hand and I see him. He's going to go on card number 2. So I'm just going to go ahead and ink him and then sit him here to the side. The birthday, best birthday is going to go on that one too. So we'll just sit that there. The circle. That circle is also going on card 2. So I'll just ink it. Set it there while we're digging. The little bird is going on card 2. I did not ink her, just leave her the way she is. Okay, the words we don't use. This we don't use. I didn't use the wine glasses. Or the grapes. I loved this piece, but I felt like it needed to be a little bit bigger, you know? Just to kind of add a little bit more something. Okay, this flower cluster, you're going to have 2 flower clusters. You're going to have a bigger one and a smaller one. Okay, you got 2 of these. The smaller one is going to go in the pile for card number 2. The bigger one is going to be on card number 1. Okay, so the bigger one's for card number 1. So what we're going to start with is our flower and our first postage stamp. So our postage stamp, I use the one with the bird. You can use whatever you want. And I did put foam on the back of it. And I put what I call the low foam. Yes, Deb, we can still get that die from Maker Mania. We can order those. So remind me or send me a message and I will get that on order for you. We can order those in. it was a fun die because I am not good at random twine. So I thought it was really nice. Okay, so low foam, we're going to put on the back of the postage. Okay, and we're just going to kind of come over to the side. I'm kind of, let me place mine and then you can see where it's at. Oh, and it is crooked. Okay, so I kind of came over to about where that leaf is, kind of covered that up, and we're right there. Okay, so that is our first layer. It's layer number 1. And then I'm going to go in with this. Oh, we got to punch our hole. Put our hole in our tag. Can't have a tag without a hole in it. Let me see. There we go. Gotta have a hole for our tag. Okay, so punch the hole. And we're going to layer that on here too. We're just layering our pieces on. Now, when we put this on, I'm going to put glue here and I'm going to put foam tape on that. And we did the low foam tape on the postage stamp. So I'm going to do the low foam tape again on this side of the tag. That way it's the same layer. It's not dipping. So we're going to go right in under that little bird's butt. And I'm coming over right until you see a little postage in the hole. I see a little bit of the postage is how far I came over. And you know what? I don't even think I need to put liquid on there. I think it's staying put. So that's our first layer. And then we're going to go in with the flower. Okay, so everybody got their flowers, finding our pieces. Actually, this flower, I used both of these flowers on this card. So both of those flowers. So we got the big flower and the small flower. Let's pull all our flowers out. And there's an even smaller flower. Okay, so the smaller flower is the one that goes over on the other one. We're going to pull all our flowers out. So this card, I'll just make a pile here. There's that flower, it's going to go on that one, and then that flower. Okay. We've got our big flower. We've got our medium flower. And then you're going to have this little flower. He's going on there. And we'll kind of start with those. So our big flower, nice big cluster. We're just going to kind of layer it underneath. Now, I like to run my stuff off the edge. If you don't like to run your stuff, that's okay. It's all preference on what you like to do. And we're just going to add liquid to this one. This is just a liquid layer because it's going to be flat. And this is the largest flower. Whoops. And it's going to go this way. Okay. And we're just running in there. So you'll see a little bit. I put a little bit off the edge. I don't ever go off the bottom of the edge. And the reason for that is if your recipient gets the card, you want them to be able to set the card up. If you put it on the bottom, they won't be able to set the card up. But I am fine with going off the side of my card. I think it just adds a little bit of interest. Okay. Then the next cluster that we have is this one. We're going to I put low foam on everything because I did quite a few layers. So we're going to put low foam on these. And you know what? I forgot to ink that one. Can I rip it off? Yes, I can. Forgot to add my ink. And I'm just adding the ink loosely, not making sure it's covering every little petal and every little leaf. Just putting it on very loosely. Okay, now I'm going to put liquid back on there and glue that back down. Okay, ink that one up. Okay, and then we're going to put low foam on this one. Okay. Kind of did low on everything just so it doesn't make the card too bulky. And we're just going to kind of layer that on top of the other flower. Just like that. So we're just building another layer, and you can kind of fluff the stuff a little bit if you want a little bit more dimension to it. Just kind of fluff it. Okay. Then we had in our kit, there's two little hearts. There's a pink one and then a small purple one. I thought those were really cute. We're going to go in and layer those in. I love to overlap little hearts. They're just kind of fun. There, and then we'll go in with our little one. I'm just going to lift that little leaf because I think my leaf is over a little bit farther than my original one. So okay, we're just going to layer it. Let me try zooming in a little bit. Am I too far out? I know we're doing a little tedious work now. Let me try to zoom in so you can see a little bit better. Okay, and then we have our butterfly. So what I did is I kind of put my butterfly on first, and then I tucked everything around her. I kind of bent her wings. We're going to bend her wings a little bit. Hi, Angela. Good to see ya. Okay, so we're going to bend the butterfly. That way she just flew the coop. That way she has a little bit of movement. And we just put wet glue on her belly and then bend her wings up, just like that. Got me all flustered, Angela. And then we have the happy birthday, and we're gonna put, did I put low? I put a higher foam dot on this because we have 2 layers of low here, so we need a layer of medium foam on there to kind of lift it so it's the same all the way across. So I'm just using my squares from Scrapbook Adhesive. I love their squares. So we're going to put foam there, and then we're going to put liquid in here, and then we're just going to sneak it underneath our little butterfly, and that way it kind of builds a layer. And you know what? If you take the backing off of your foam, it sticks better. Okay, there you go. So that's what we've got kind of so far for our layers. Everybody doing good? So then I wanted a little extra greenery. So in this kit, there was this piece. You're going to find that little greenery piece. And we're just going to tuck it kind of right in here. It needed a little bit more green. You can tuck it in between your flowers if you want. And this one's a little tedious, so I just kind of hit the edges with my brown just to add a little bit. And we're just going to add a little bit of liquid kind of to the base, and we're just going to tuck it wherever you want. I think I'm going to tuck mine right there. Just like that. Yeah, I need, because we got a little bit of green going here and a little bit of green going there. So we need a little bit down in this bottom corner. And I'm using the Nouveau, which dries clear, so even if I glop it a little bit there as I'm sliding that in, you don't have to worry about it. It's going to dry clear on you. Okay, so there we go. And then our last little guy, we have this little floater here, this little flower. Let me add a little ink. I kind of popped him, I snuck him up in this corner up here because I felt like it needed a little bit more of the florals going around. So we're just going to kind of sneak him up there with his little greenery. And then I'll just sneak a little liquid back there. Pardon my big head. And then that kind of builds our cluster coming in and around for our card. Okay, so then the last thing we're going to kind of do to add it, we've got all of our layers, we've got all of our pop dots kind of on there. Needs a little bit of gold tone to kind of bring in with the Miri that we have on the outside edge. So we've got their little pearls that was in the kit. And we're just going to take those and just kind of sprinkle them, just kind of add them. I always like to vary in size. I never put the same sizes kind of next to each other. So there's a small and a medium up there. And then down here, I'll come in with 2 more, maybe 3, and kind of just add a little bit of gold tone. Oops, try not to shoot the sequins. Just add a little bit more of that gold tone. There's a big one, and then let me go in with a little small one. Just like that. So there's our bling. Kind of add that. Hello, everybody. See some more people jumping on. And then the last thing is your twine. So if you guys have black twine, black jute, whatever you want, kind of fluff it and put it in there. What would be cool too is if you have cheesecloth or something, that would be cute to kind of tuck in there. But what I'm going to use is that die cut that we had. I have this piece here, and I'm just going to chop it in half. Just going to snip it. And I'm just going to sneak a little piece up in the top and a little piece down in the bottom. I felt like the little hint of black just made everything, better get my tweezers out, what am I thinking? The little hint of black just kind of made everything pop. So I'm just going to take a little liquid adhesive, just put a little bit kind of on there where it'll be hidden. And then we're just going to kind of tuck it down, lift some things up, see what moves. And we're just going to tuck it down in there and have that little bit of twine coming out. I love the dies because I'm not good at doing the random and making it look random. I overwork it, kind of like floral arrangements. For the love of God, I can't figure out floral arrangements either. Some people do beautiful arrangements. I can't figure them out. So I feel like this kind of gives me the look of my randomness without having to know what I'm doing. I can't do floral. I have tried, guys. It just looks like I wadded it in a ball and threw it. Okay, I'm just going to kind of cover my birthday. We know what it says. This one's a kind of a little bit lower than my original, but we get it. We get the gist of it. Okay, so there's card number 1, guys. Card number 1. We kind of got the random string and twine. And beautiful layers. All of these products are from the kit and from Uniquely Creative, and they really are stunning. All right. Okay, so let's do card number 2. We've kind of already started it, and we've kind of already been building our pile of goodies. So we need to find our card base, which is right there. We've got our card base. And then the first thing we're going to start with, again, is that postage stamp. That's going to be kind of the base of our layer. And we're going to put the low foam on it. So this, again, is the roll of scrapbook adhesive. I love their foam. I think they're the best ones out there. This is the one I call low, which is the 108. And then there is the medium, which is the 54, which is basically this doubled up. Okay, and I like to use them hand in hand. They come in black, and it also comes in white. Okay, so we're going to put the foam on the back of our postage stamps. And we're going to just kind of have that as our base piece again. And we're going to stack everything in and around it, kind of like we did on the first card with our clusters. So we're just going to kind of come in a little bit, make sure she's straight, and right side up. I had to look. I thought I had her upside down for a second. And there we go. And then our next piece is going to be this fun little piece that was in our ephemera pack. And we inked the edges of that already. We're going to put liquid here and foam on the other side so it lays flat again with our postage. And I kind of just went in and just overlap it. So I've got 3 holes on the postage showing, 3 holes. Okay, then our fluffy flower that we had, we're going to put that one, let me add a little ink to it. That one's going to be peekabooing up at the top corner. And we'll just kind of peekaboo that in and glue it flat. And you know what? I got to lift my foam up because I took my foam tape a little too far. I try not to do my foam tape all the way to the edges. That way you have the ability to tuck things underneath it. There we go. And I'll just stick my foam tape back down. Kind of bent it, but that's okay. Okay, so there's our layer. I'm going to put a piece of foam on there so it'll stay down. Because now she's not behaving. She's being naughty. There we go. Now she'll stay put. Okay, so there's our layers so far. We're going to have that cute little circle. And in the ephemera pack, there's this cute little bird. And on my original one, I glued her down. And then I was like, oh, I wish I would have popped that instead. So you can either pop this bird, which is what I might do, or you can do what I did on my original, is I glued it flat and then I popped her on top. Because I felt like it was a little too flat, so I popped her afterwards. So I actually think I'm going to pop this. I'm going to pop her instead of putting the other one on top. So we have an extra bird we fuzzy cut. That's okay. Okay, there's that. Let me find my micro dots. Yes, you must have all the sizes. It just makes life easier. And then we're going to put that on top and cover up that lavender that's on the circle. We're going to cover the lavender. Oh, yes, I like it popped better. Okay, so there's what the original was. Okay, and we're going to pop her. So I just put low foam on the whole thing of our little circle. Little circle's going to get some low foam, like I said, just in the center. That way we can sneak things in underneath it. But we're not going to stick her down yet. Okay, I forgot we got to put our flowers on. It'll be easier to get our flower on before we put that little bird on. Okay, so we've got our flower cluster. It's just going to go down here kind of in the corner, just like that. And again, just put adhesive in the center, not all the way to the outside edges. That way we can sneak layers in between it. Don't always have to add a gallon of glue to stuff. It will stick. Trust me. Okay, so we've got our flowers. Then we're going to add our little bird. Just like that. And you could stop there. I mean, even that right there is pretty. Those are pretty layers. But wait, there's more. We're going to add more. So we've got 2 green Twiggy guys. We've got this one and this one. The big one I put over here on the side. And then the small one I kind of put down at the bottom. And I'm just going to put liquid on this one, and we're just going to sneak it in underneath. And then you can put a pop dot on it if you kind of want it to hold up. But we're just going to sneak it in underneath those flowers because they just need a little bit of greenery kind of coming out. And then we're going to do the same thing with this other guy. We're going to sneak him in on the other side. So we're just kind of poking and layering and clustering. It's all about the layers and clusters. Which, if you want to be equal, you could put this guy up here too, but we already have some green up there. So I just went in here and kind of poked them in this bottom area, just like that. And we're just going to put a little liquid again on the back of those. And then just slide it in. And that's why when I put adhesive on, I usually just do dots, not a lot. Because that way, if you just have adhesive in the center, you can still poke and slide things in. If you put adhesive all over it, then you don't have the opportunity to sneak things under for your layers. Okay, then there's 3 flourishes in this set. There's this one, and this one. Okay, so I didn't ink these. I felt like they were kind of brown enough. And just got our power back. Oh no. Okay. I was worried it was going to storm here, but I think the sky is cleared up. I was worried I was going to lose you guys. So we're going to put that guy up here. We're going to tuck him in there. Susan, our lives will always be on our Facebook page. The lives won't be in the Crafty Hour Creations. They'll always be on our public Facebook pages for the lives. Okay, so those guys are going to go up there. And then there is a purple grape leaf. I used the purple one that I'm going to tuck in on top of that. And then I kind of just bent the leaf up a little bit so it's kind of poked up on top of the circle just to kind of layer it in. Just like that. So I kind of have it overlapping a little bit. That way it has a little bit of lift. And then in the bottom, we got to do one of these guys also. The one I did was this one. And I chopped that off. I chopped its butt off. That way I could slide it in behind and you wouldn't see all the other pieces on there. So I did just kind of chop that size. Yes, right here, Susan, we're on the public scrapbook and memories page. Yes, that's where all the Crafty Hours will be. Okay, then we're going to tuck him under there and just press. And then there's our layer on that. Is it not adorable? I love building these clusters. They're just so much fun. Okay. So then we have our sentiment, best birthday. And I'm going to put the higher foam on the right and then the lower foam on the left because we're going to be overlapping these layers here. And we want it to lay flat. We don't want it to be curved. Okay, so we're just going to tuck it under that little bird. So she kind of looks like she's perched up on there, just like that. And then the last thing we're going to do is I added a little string or twine. And that was, again, from that die cut. If you've got string, by all means, put your string on there. I kind of showed you in last week's Crafty Hour the trick that Amy showed me on how to kind of string it and then flip it. So you can go back and watch the last Crafty Hour. She kind of helped me on mastering. I'm trying to master my loops. Okay, and just that little hint of black just adds that little color, adds a little something it needs. Like I said, if you've got random twine, great. Put the twine in there and just kind of tuck it under the little bird. If you've got some cheesecloth, that would be awesome too. You could kind of tuck that under. And then we've got our gold gems. Our last thing to add is going to be our little gold gems. So I just kind of went up here with the small ones. Whoops. Oh my gosh. I don't know why I try to use tweezers. All I do with tweezers is shoot these things. I need to use my pokey tool. Okay, so we'll put a small one there. Small one there. Put another small one over here, and then also a medium one. And then I put a small one and a medium one kind of down on the bottom. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining and spending an hour crafting along with me. All right. So I think, look at that, 3 minutes to spare. We are doing great. So there's our cards. So let me bring in the other one because, well, we got two versions of the same thing. So there are our two cards for Crafty Hour number 85, 86, I can't remember what number we're on, using the Uniquely Creative card kit. So thank you guys so much. Remember, these are always on replay. You can catch these on our Facebook page. Facebook does delete these after 30 days. So you can go to our YouTube channel also. We will download these and find them on our YouTube. So you can find all 86 Crafty Hours over there from all of our past and present ones. So tomorrow will be the announcement of the next Crafty Hour. And we kind of already hinted and sneaky peekied a little bit that it will be using one of the brand new 49 and Market collections, which are stunning, and I cannot wait to get a hold of those and create with those. And then again, if you want to join in on the fun over in the Scoop group and join the 52 card deck challenge, that's my card that I made with my leftovers. This little birdie was in the ephemera. These guys were in the ephemera, and this one was my week number 12 challenge, which was to add fabric and introduce discomfort. So I added burlap to my sentiment and then also to my my little flourish there. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Make sure to tune in tomorrow at 11 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Pacific. We will be announcing the next Crafty Hour kit, and they will go on sale at that time. I will do the live and walk you through it, and then Stacy will be on plugging the links for both of our stores. So all you have to do is click on that link and purchase a card kit, the Crafty Hour kit, to participate. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in, and thank you for all of your love and support and purchasing the Crafty Hour kits from Scrapbook and Memories and Clipper Street. Have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.